Hello, beautiful people. So, yeah, I want to get right into it because this is like a super important message, okay? Um, I had a dream, ladies and germs. Yeah, I had a dream. Um, and it was interesting. I was like in battle in this dream, but I was in like jeans. My favorite way to battle. I'm just kidding. No. So, yeah, I was in jeans, right? In jeans. So something about the jeans. So I was in jeans in this battle, right? So I just remember going through like this hallway, and then I'm in this giant cafeteria, right? And it's like a cafeteria, and it's almost like a waiting station, right? Like a bus station or something, but there's no like bus or plane or vehicles, right? So it's some type of waiting station, but it was a cafeteria, okay? And people like sitting down, and there's like these big comfy chairs so you can like sit and like relax, right? So I just pull up a chair next to someone, and this person's exhausted, you know what I mean? And this woman comes over, and she's like a hostess or waitress, whatever, and she's got on rollerblades and like this cute little outfit, and it's like she intuitively like knew what everybody wanted, right? It's like there were like certain foods on that she gave, and certain things that she gave on your tray that it was just like, she like took like one look at you, and she like, okay, I know that you need this, this, and this, and you'll be back to normal in no time, right? Like she was like intuitively speaking this. I remember having these conversations with her in the dream, right? And like talking to her, like, why did you give that to that person? You didn't even ask her. You know what I mean? So yeah, and it was like I was the only person having this telepathic conversation with this waitress, right? But it's like deeper than that. I was the only person that comprehended that or understood that I was telepathically communicating with this individual, right? So, um, yeah, and during this, what happened next? Something happened, right? Of course, something happened because that's what happens next. Something happens. um, where was I? Please remind me where I was. Okay, yeah. So she's coming over, and I just say, uh, no, it wasn't me. There was someone else at this table too, and this person was like, "What is this place?" And I just look around, right? And it's just a whole bunch of people. Like some people are like all battered and bruised, some people are getting like medical attention, it's basically like a holding cell, right? Or it's basically it's like the Four of Swords, right? It's like that meditative resting space that you have before you go right back out to battle, okay? So I'm sitting down, and I'm like, yeah, this person at the table is like, so what is this place? And the waitress goes, um, this place is always available to those that need to recuperate, and those that need to, like, basically saying like people that need to recharge and learn tactics for spiritual warfare, you go to whatever this place was. And it's basically like cave time was the feel that I was getting from this. Okay, so why am I even rambling about this? Okay, I'm getting there. So I feel like I wanted to share this, right? Because I feel like the decode in this dream is so much like deeper, right? Like, yes, it's about cave time, right? Yes, it's about having to battle with spiritual warfare, and it's about being able to make sure that you are fully capable and prepared to be battling too, right? Because it's ongoing, it doesn't stop. So it's like you can't hide from the grief, right? And it's like there's help available, and there's help like all around you, right? And you really can't hide the grief. So it's like right now is ripe for that cave time. It's ripe for you to be able to get that reprieve that you're looking for, right? And it's almost like on a spiritual subconscious level, it's happening, right? And when it happens there, you know what I mean? It's getting closer to happening in the physical, right? So it's like maybe you're in this cave time now, or you're about to go into this cave time, or you've been placed in this cave time and you have no idea, right? Because when I had originally gone there, 555, when I had originally showed up in this place, I just walked through some random hallway, so I had no idea where I was going. And it was like all open and bright and everything. And I was like thinking, I was like, well, what's the whole point of this? Like, why am I here? Why was I led here? You know what I mean? And you know, I remember sitting down and I remember feeling like grief, you know what I mean? I remember feeling grief, but then like I remember it being like literally lifted off of me and like transmuted. Like someone lifted the grief off of me, like put it on a cart and rolled away with it, okay? So I'm not saying like throw out the grief, right? Or ignore it or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying, but it's like you have that help available, okay? That help is very much readily available, okay? And it's like this grief, like, what is this grief? And to me, I was like, you know, being in like that holding cell kind of thing, it's like, yes, it's like divine protection, yeah, but it was also like yes, you're divinely protected, but you are still going to battle. You still have more wars to fight, you know what I mean? So it's like, it made me think about karmic debt, right? And it was like, okay, so maybe this grief that I'm feeling really is like from this karmic debt, right? Because karmic debt is something that it just has to be paid. It's a debt. It has to be paid off, right? It could be that there's a lot of karmic debts currently in your life that it's like the paying them is like weighing heavy on your mind, right? And that's almost causing like a lot of grief, right? But I want this message to serve that it's like you will understand why you had to go through all this karmic debt. Like you'll understand like how and why all this karmic debt was accumulated. And it was like, it's so much bigger than you, right? Like you're cleaning off slates, like lifetimes worth of slates of karmic debt, okay? And it's like this epiphany that you're going to get. It's like lightning, okay? And it's like you're going to understand that I don't know, it's like you're just going to understand that like you're different, right? You're just going to understand that you have just a different calling on your life, right? And you're going to take this karmic debt and it's actually going to be like one of the best things that's ever happened to you, right? And you're going to take this karmic debt and view it as almost like this golden opportunity to like revive yourself again, okay? It's like you needed to plunge into the depths and fight all these battles, right? And literally go to war for yourself, right? And for others, right? It's like when I was in this dream, I didn't even know what I was fighting for, right? Like that wasn't in my conscious mind, like what I'm fighting for, who I'm fighting for, why I'm fighting so hard, like why all of these people are going through this battle, like why are we all right here in like this cafeteria that's like a healing / holding cell, whatever. So yeah, it's like I'm really, it's like this entire season of spring is like spring cleaning, right? So like July, right? I've been getting this energy a lot. So like the next 3 months, so like around like like June, July, like Cancer season, it's like this epiphany is gonna happen, and you're really gonna understand it. Okay, it's deeper than that. You're gonna understand that it's like the energy of like you were trying to know me when they didn't know me, right? It's like you had to like lose yourself in order to find yourself. And on this whole journey, like, you're going to have this epiphany on how many people's lives you've actually touched, right? And how many people's lives have touched yours. You know what I mean? And there's something about that and reincarnation and karmic debt, that there's some type of epiphany about that that's just gonna make sense to you, right? It's like you're gonna see everything go in slow motion. And like the slower that it goes, right? The faster in frequency that you're spinning, and the slower in motion that like these realizations are appearing with that outside of you, right? It's it's really just going to make the epiphany. It's going to be such a sweet moment, right? It's almost like you're stargazing, and 11:11, you're not meaning to see a shooting star, and then you just see one. So this is, you're not going to be expecting this, right? And it's like, maybe you're not going to be expecting this cave time, or maybe you're not going to be expecting like how powerful that this cave time that you're being called to give yourself is, right? Because it's like this grief, right? So when you're manifesting, you know, and you're attracting, it's coming from the heart center. And if you're filled with grief, your heart's not open. So how can you be open to receive? You may receive things, but is it really going to be for the best of you, or on the right vibration that you're trying to attract, or the actual vibration that you're at, right? So definitely like some very deep inner heart chakra, like purging, okay? There's definite purging of this going on. I want to get some tarot here because, yeah. It's like almost, I'm also getting too with like that energy of like you were trying to know me when they didn't know me, right? It's like Six of Pentacles. So like I'm seeing like this person, like, you know how people just like have their hands out for this person, right? Like you didn't have your hands out to this person. You like didn't want anything from them. You were just trying to know them, right? So it's some type of that has something to do with this, right? So yeah. Spiritual warfare. Yeah, really, it's like this karmic debt has, it's like everything's like set up for certain things, right? Like how are you, you know what I mean? Like that's why it's important to call back your energy from all time, from past, present, future, across all time and space, right? Because of all these contracts that we come here, and you know, that we fulfill, right? That like a lot of them are so subconscious, and a lot of them, I don't know, did we really make them, right? Like were we in like the right frame of mind or in the right consciousness when we made them? Like no, like we're ever changing. So I do believe that you can kind of revoke contracts, right? See, there's some type of epiphany that's like, because that's like the energy that I'm in. Like I'm like super analytical, like crazy detective going over here. Like okay, you know what I mean? Like it's, yeah, it's like exciting, right? It's exciting, but it's also just like, yeah, I've been damn through it, right? Like Three of Swords, like my heart's been stabbed at, you know what I mean? Like this karmic debt has hurt, you know, and it immensely did a number too, right? And it's like there's some type of reprieve, Emperor. Wow, I was just gonna say there's some type of reprieve. Hermit, right? Could be this emperor that's in the hermit, or you could be the emperor too, right? It's like you're calling the shots, right? Like you're just like, this is my life, and I don't care what you say anymore. It's my life, you know? And it's like, you're gonna live your fucking life, and you're gonna do so after going within, right? After shining the light on everything that needed to be shown upon, right? And it's like your true power, who you truly are, you know, this leader, this bold, courageous leader, this boss, this figure of authority, this idea of like stability, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the time to like embody that. Like, you were definitely being molded, but like more so than that, you were being guided, right? It's like you came from this little page, like you were this little page of wands, and you're the emperor, right? Like this whole situation like tested the fuck out of your patience, right? It tested you, right? It tested your resolve. And that's like what spiritual warfare does. It tests your resolve, right? And like, as you were going through all of this, like, yes, you were blind, right? But you were blindly led, right? You were also blindly led through it, right? And it was through that cave time. It was through that cave time that you were able to kind of understand this karmic debt, right? And you were able to then work through it. And something about stability, right? It's like, whatever stability. Oh man, I can't shake this feeling though. I also feel that there was absolutely a spirit guide, or maybe there was someone that like you didn't even realize that you were going through all this, and you didn't even realize that you were kind of just, you were almost being like a spirit guide to somebody else as you were going through all of this, right? It's like pay it forward energy kind of feel, because in this dream I just remember being so freaking exhausted, and but then being so grateful that I had this moment of reprieve. I didn't even know where the hell I was, right? But it was just the fact that like, okay, I know I'm safe here. How do I know this? It was just like this inherent trust, like, you know, and you know, you have this nice lady giving me food and then saying just stay a while, put your feet up, right? So that's all my skis. But anyways, that's besides the point. Like, it's like you were moving too fast, right? Like the chariot, like you were moving too fast towards some type of stability, right? But it's like you were moving too fast, that you didn't see what kind of darts were being thrown at your stability, right? Like, because, right? Like, King of Swords, Nine of Cups. So it's like you know who you are, right? And you always have, right? And you knowing who you are has always given yourself like a lot of great like emotional contentment. And it's like you didn't even realize the swords that were being thrown at you, right? You were just sitting here like this, maybe a little too smug, right? Maybe a little too in your feelings. And it's like this cave time brought valuable messages to you, right? So now you can move forward, right? You're not in so much of a this is giving me like I know it's best for me and nothing else can be right. You know what I mean? This is not being open to, you know, this reminds me of that quote, like, be open to what you don't know, you know, especially in regards to your emotions and in regards to your wishes and your hopes and your desires, right? And your dreams. And it could be that you were just like on a path that you needed to cut that shit out, right? It's like you were on the wrong path and you were going down that shit come hell or high water, and you were going so fast, but you were really going nowhere fast, right? So it's like Yeah, you had a lot of this energy around you, a lot of this win at all costs, right? It's a lot of backstabbing, a lot of betrayal, a lot of like mentally, mental confusion. And it's like you're understanding that that was all a part of the spiritual warfare too. It's like you're understanding spiritual warfare in like a whole different way. It's like your arsenal is like fully loaded now, and it's like now that it's fully loaded, you just need to make sure that you are integrated so you're fully loaded and locked and ready to go. Like Chariot Emperor, like you got this. You are stable and you're confident and you're ready to do the damn thing. You're ready to take over, honestly, right? And it's like, know what you're getting into, and maybe you didn't know what you were getting into, right? So it's like you needed to be in this holding cell before you made a decision that was too rash, right? Before you stepped into this energy of winning at all costs, right? Because I'm telling you, this caveman, wow, it's this cave time, right? This hermit time, it's a time of healing, right? It's like a time of deep soul healing. And you're able to really cut through a lot of bullshit. You really are. And it's like you're now standing strong with boundaries, right? You may be a little mouthy, just be mindful of being too harsh with how you communicate. But it's like you've learned these boundaries and you've fought to learn these boundaries. So you're kind of just like, hell, if I'm a little abrasive, that ain't my problem. And like, listen, I understand, but I'm definitely being called to say, be mindful of this smug behavior, right? It's like, fool. Because this cave time, this new awareness, this new harnessing, really, this new harnessing of boundaries, right? You can either create new worlds or you can destroy them, right? Are you going to be the master builder or the master destroyer? That's completely up to you. So don't be foolish here, right? It's like you have a clean slate here, okay? And it's like you were held, right? 2222, you were divinely held so that you can pick up the fight and keep going, okay? Nine of Pentacles, and the Sun on the bottom. Wow, and Ten of Pentacles after that. Be mindful of feminine energies in your life, okay? I say this because Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, High Priestess, and Judgment, okay? It's like, yeah, someone's holding on to something. Someone was holding on to something too tightly, right? This could be someone I'm hearing someone's trying to hold on to your legacy too tightly, right? And it's like, hell no, because now your legacy is being exposed, illuminated to you, right? This is your legacy, okay? And it's like, everything had to happen to put you in this place, right? Because you wouldn't have learned what you learned if you didn't go through certain situations, right? It's like you yourself almost had to be in the Five of Swords energy, in that win at all costs, in that like extreme, like that extreme grit to just like, I don't care who I step on, I'm gonna step on whomever, just get there. It's like you needed to have a taste of what that energy was like when it's like retaliated on you, right? So yeah, wow. It's so interesting that like it's so interesting. A lot of readers pick up on like the karmic couple, right? Karmic couple that doesn't even like each other. They're just wreaking havoc. Yeah. It's like, you're so focused on this, You're so focused on healing and building and creating, sustaining and protecting, right? Because it's not one thing to be aware of your legacy, to grow your legacy, to build it. It's another thing to protect it, to cherish it, to shine a light on it for your own self so that you understand the importance of it, so that you understand the importance and the integral role that you play, right? Wow. I'm gonna need a nice stretch after this one. Thanks, guys.